This is Monday, week 18, starting with number 1. Them boys are working too quick to pay attention to what they're doing. So, I'm going to start here with them boys. We don't say them boys, we say those boys are working too. It's the wrong to. It should be T-O-O. And then since it's showing like too much, you want to do quickly. That'd be the correct way to say that. The boys are working too quickly to pay attention to what they're doing. So to what they're doing, if you notice the there, this is the wrong there. So T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, so we have they are, to what they are doing. And you simply do not have a period at the end of this sentence, so go ahead and put a period at the end. And so now it makes sense. Number 2, most students don't want to do no homework on the weekend. Our first mistake is what I call a just kind of not paying attention mistake. You have to capitalize at the beginning of the sentence for most. So most students don't, apostrophe with don't want to do no homework. That sounds really bad because you have a double negative. Don't want to do no homework. They don't want to do any homework. They don't want to do any homework on the weekend. So the big key there was the double negative. You can't use no twice. When you do that, it equals a positive. It's almost just like in math. When you have two negatives in math and you multiply them, you get a positive. In grammar, if you have two negatives, it actually becomes a positive when you really stop and think about the sentence. Now, number 3, we were looking for simple, compound, or complex for the sentence. Kevin and Stacy have a crazy dog named Boomer. So we have Kevin and Stacy, but Kevin and Stacy, they're a compound subject, but that does not make it a compound sentence. It does not make it a compound sentence, just a compound subject. And so then what do? They have a crazy dog named Boomer. It's just a simple sentence. You just have one subject and one verb. Just because the subject has two names doesn't mean that it's more than just a simple sentence. It just means a compound subject. But the answer there, like I said, would be a simple sentence. And so this is going to take us then into a little extra addition I decided to put here on the DLRs since it's 2017. Or if you are watching this in the future, it might be past 2017. But I want to take a topic and break it down a little bit more. And so in this case, we're going to do simple, compound, and complex just to kind of review exactly what we're looking for if you can't remember what happens in those sentences. And so I have moved on to this little page describing simple, compound, and complex. And so up here, simple means you have one independent clause. Now remember, an independent clause means it can stand alone as a sentence. It has a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. Compound is two independent clauses with a conjunction. You know, one of the fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. If there's no conjunction with the independent clauses, then it's a run-on. A lot of people make that mistake where they don't put the comma in or they don't put the conjunction. It becomes a run-on sentence. And then finally, a complex sentence is a dependent clause and an independent clause together. Remember, this dependent clause, it can't stand alone. It has to have help with it to make sense as a sentence, and so that's why it's called complex. So, let's take a look at this. Bob likes to play baseball, but Joe enjoys football. And so we have an independent clause here. We have Bob likes to play baseball. We have another independent clause, Joe enjoys football. So we do have two independent clauses there, and so that would give us a compound sentence. However, this would be considered a run-on. And now I put this in here on purpose because you're going to see run-on sentences, and you have to be able to identify them. Real simple reason why, it just needs a comma. Just needs a comma. We put that comma in there, now it's a compound sentence with independent clauses on each side. Number 2, since the weather is really nice, we will go outside. Since the weather is really nice, that is a dependent clause. Starts with a subordinated conjunction sense. It is paired with an independent clause, we will go outside. So since you have a dependent clause with an independent clause, you're up here at the complex sentence. Number 3, the ducks, pigs, and cows worked and took care of the land. Now, I put a lot of subjects in here. I have the ducks. I have the pigs. I have the cows. They're doing a few different things. They worked. They took. Okay, so a lot of things happening, but it's still just a compound subject with a compound verb or compound predicate. So it's just a simple sentence. It's not two independent clauses. This is just one big independent clause. So this is just going to be a simple sentence for number 3. Number 4, the kids likes movies. I probably should have said the kids like movies. Okay, the kids like movies. That's a simple sentence. You have one subject, one verb. There's nothing else going on. One clause, simple sentence. And number 5, we will go outside because the weather is really nice. We have we will go outside. And then we have because the weather is really nice. And so we will go outside is an independent clause. Because the weather is really nice is a dependent clause. Now, what makes that dependent? You can't look at someone and say because the weather is really nice. If that's all you say to them, they're going to look back at you and say, what? What about because the weather is really nice? That's how you know it's a dependent clause, because there needs to be more to it. Okay, and so that makes it a complex sentence because you have the independent over here, we will go outside, and then you have the dependent because the weather is really nice. Okay, and so that is just a little breakdown of simple, compound, and complex sentences. You're going to be seeing a lot more of these into your daily language review. Again, if you're past 2017, this just might be commonplace for you at that point. Anyways, back to our week 18 Monday. We still have a couple left. Circle the simple subject and underline the complete subject. Mia's funny, independent niece has a lot of opinions about the world. And we're going to start with the complete subject. That's usually the easier part. So the whole subject part is Mia's funny, independent niece. That is our complete subject. And then circle the simple subject. What specifically are we saying? Who actually has a lot of opinions about the world? Is it the Mia, the funny, the independent, the niece? That would just be the niece. Okay, the niece has a lot of opinions about the world, and so that is what we should be circling there. So go ahead and circle that. Okay, and then finally, number 5, write the root and circle its meaning. We have visible and vision, and so what is the root there? That is see. Okay, that means see. Whenever you have vis in a sentence or in a word, it's going to mean see. Okay, so actually that's down here too. Actually, I should have wrote up here. I should have wrote viz. That's the root word, is the viz. Okay, vision, visible, invisible, visionary. They all have vis, and again, they all mean see is what you're looking for whenever you have vis. Okay, so that is all for Monday, week 18.